So that I do play a lot because my parents live there. I, with a greens fee and a card for myself, I'm paying $51. So it's, I wouldn't call the quality of the course that much greater than it's in Little Falls.
Is it better?
It's on par.
Okay. I mean, I think we have some room for improvement at ours with how we keep the grounds, maybe trim some trees, clean up leaves, sticks.
Yeah, they're different in terms of maintenance. I'd say they're fairly equal. They're just different styles of courses. Being in the prairie, I would call it, where, you have a lot fewer trees to deal with, so you can kind of do some things differently than you can in our course. That is a lot of old growth trees, both pine and oak. That creates a whole different environment and challenges and for maintenance and play.
Well, you can tell your course manager to trim that tree on 7 so you can get long drive.
I know the one you're talking about too. All right, may I move on?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'd like to do set up a night to do a public informational meeting. I welcome all council members to be in attendance to hear this. It would be primarily the two agenda topics would be talking about the feasibility study that we had on the bridge and the potential alternatives that we have there, and then gathering input on idea for to move forward with the local option sales tax. We have gotten some inquiries or comments on what we discussed at the last meeting. I do welcome all council attendance to do that. If we have enough, we certainly post it as a public meeting, but it's really to present those two main ideas and give opportunity for the public to give their input and ask questions, kind of get further details on that. Really, we're in very early stages. I would comment to that we don't have anything formalized, set in stone. This is we're just trying to keep the process moving forward, so we can get that feedback from the public if it is something that is going to be a decision that we're going to be moving forward with either or both. Is there a night that would work best or to avoid?
Like Wednesday nights probably, because most churches have choirs and confirmation and that kind of stuff, so that Wednesday would be a good night. Are you looking at the near future here, like?
This would be I think within the next possibly 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Early February.
Speaking for myself, bookending the week works best, either early in the week or later.
Yeah, how about the 29th or the 30th?
Yeah, the 29th is a fifth Monday. Those tend to be good nights, not conflicting with other meetings. I think for me, it's open. Generally, on Mondays are always open if I go to the council meeting. So.
We have to give 10 days, right? So
Yeah, well, that's
if we're going to pick that one, we better decide.
No, it's public posted for meeting 72 hours.
It's not a council meeting, it's
No.
a public information. So the council won't be taking any action.
But
You don't have to-
What's 13 days till the 29th?
Yeah, well,
12.
my 10 days was inaccurate anyway, so.
It's public hearings, I think, are 10 days.
Doesn't matter, we just adjourn to it from tonight to there.
So shoot for the 29th.
That's adequate time to advertise it.
I don't think this is going to be the last. I think this would just be the first opportunity.
It'll be 2 weeks in the paper, so.
Yeah. Okay. Shoot for the 29th.
I would just go with
Six
that.
is-
After all that, I think I might be working in Wisconsin that week. Just go with it.
What's that?
I'm in Townville.
Would a 6 p.m. start work? Or do you want to stick with
5?
the usual?
5:30?
5 till you get people that are
I
waiting.
would give people a little bit, I don't want to start too late because I might just keep it open for a certain period of time. We can kind of do
How about
shifts.
6:30?
Typical 6:30. Seems comfortable for me.
Would that be here?
Yes, I would also. Okay.
You do both of them that night, right?
Yeah, those would be the two topics of the agenda that I would discuss.
You can do a time frame for one and then the other, or what, 6:30 to 7 for the bridge and 7 to 7:30 for the sales tax type deal, to have some kind of a,
Advertise it that way.
in case some people don't care about one or the other, or
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, Greg, too, with our SEH folks they might have anything available for us, or might have a person to.
They should have something available by then.
Yeah.
Are
That's
they
what-
looking at a model?
They are, yes.
Yeah, that falls within the expectation, what we were hoping to have something back by. Okay, so next Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. to noon, Senator Gizelka and Representative Krisha are hosting or part of the Chamber's hosted legislative update. We do have a meeting with the senator after that time frame, but I would encourage anybody that would be able to attend from 10:30 to noon to speak towards our encouragement and to continue looking at these our bridge project specifically, because we will have a meeting with MnDOT the day before to get their opinion, get their position on it, and trying to how we can work together with them. I know the representative is advocating for our project. I think the timing is good in terms of the support that we can get from both the legislative and executive branches of the state. Having this current governor has made it a priority that cruel rail crossings at grade should be made as safe as possible. Ours meets and falls within that criteria based on MnDOT data, based on BNSF data, based on the Federal Rail Administration, that we have one of the highest predictability of accident rates for any crossing in the state, and specifically ones with cruel rail lines were the 4th highest in the state from a 2014 study. A few of those have actually had efforts have been made to improve those safeties, and either making them grade separations or doing more in terms of crossing safety. So I think the timing is good on that part to get the legislative support. There's a lot of other efforts that need to go into that, and getting public support behind it too is one of those strategies. So if you could attend, give your input or feedback, or at least support towards that project. Yeah, on the 23rd.
Is that at the chamber?
It's here.
Okay.
Yeah, in the council chambers.
It's at the library.
Oh, it's at the library? It's typically been here.
County board meets here on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So they meet at the library.
All right,
So it's at the
so that makes
library.
sense. It is at the library. They would have a meeting that week. Yeah.
Usually have a drinking.
All right, good to know. Thank you for pointing that out. I just made the assumption that it was going to be here. Well, either way, I will forward you to as well an informational sheet that we put together on the project, and some key details, key facts regarding how many vehicles are crossing, what the impact of public safety could be, and as well as what the two alternatives and alignments are that we're looking at. So that, I'll send that out to you this week. All right, and then in your packet is the request. Typically, we've seen these from the Convention Visitors Bureau. Each year, this will be, as my conversations with Chris, this will be the last one since we've now modified the agreements that they're getting the full 95% of both the lodging and the restaurant taxes for their budget, so that we aren't holding back funds that they have to then make special requests for. But that increase isn't going to be effective or seen effect to that until September, October, when otherwise the previous agreement would be kind of kicking in on that 50-50 split. So she does have 6 projects listed here. One's a carryover from the previous year. They're outside of what the original budget would be, but within funds that we have dedicated towards use for tourism. Their board has been seeing these proposed to them and have supported that request to be made, and it falls within the funding that we have. Chris has said that she would, as projects come about, she would request for reimbursements after once the projects or costs have been made or reimbursed. I do want to. And Raquel, maybe you can also point out too, the Explore Minnesota opportunity is kind of a neat one. They made a large movable sculpture that's been hosted in different places throughout the state, and we have applied and got it to have in Little Falls this summer. It's really pretty cool. It's it says hashtag only in MN. That's the kind of state tourism.
That hashtag has been used
Yeah.
millions of
Yes.
times.
So that's for Instagrams, Twitters, all the other social media platforms to draw attention. So it will be in Little Falls for a few weeks, 3 weeks during the summer. So really, it's been a draw. People, once they see it, they post it, tag it, and it just spreads kind of like wildfire to get a lot of additional advertising. So to have it and its cost, I think it's going to reap pretty good benefits back in terms of advertising and exposure that it's going to get from other people.
It was at Bentleyville over Christmas.
Oh yeah, and it lights up.
Yeah, it's like a big neon hashtag on the NMN. It's awesome. Google it.
Anything else?
No, that was.
Anything under other?
That's what I had for those items.
All right.
I do have one question. If the council's comfortable with the resolution for the year-end transfers, if we could add it to tonight's agenda. If you want to wait, that's fine too, but if you're comfortable with it, we could certainly add it.
Anybody have issues with adding it for tonight?
I would add, Lori and I have both been in discussions, a lot of discussions since our budget planning last fall, and it was discussed about what it would take to just utilize existing funds, transfer existing funds to close out that debt that we hold on the internally for both the zoo and the golf course. We do have a proposal that we plan to present in February if the council so chooses, but we did want to make sure that you saw the transfers of the resolutions, because kind of one might be impacting the other. There is some undesignated funds within the equipment fund that we've had, some surplus dollars that we've just been holding on to that we could present that decision, but it's, we want to note the other impacts that we're going to have against those funds with potentially the otter exhibit that's going on, the additional revenues that we have going into those funds. So we don't want it to just be effective a one-time decision and then all of a sudden we're back and way in the hole. We want to have a strategy and a plan so that as it's as we make this decision and the auditors see it and the public knows it's part of a long strategy that we're going to get both of those into operating and kind of consistent, positive.
Anyone else under other? Greg, anything? What's up the final?
Well,
They're gonna get fixed?
We're getting that fixed on the weather concerns farmer, yes. Thursday.
Anything else from the council?
I had a couple of constituents call this week, wondering about, if there's any possibility of switching to a different cable company? Is that something that's been discussed?
Not a different cable company, because that would require, franchise, and you'd want to, they need the franchisee to come in and apply. And I don't, most of those aren't happening. I know there's been discussion with CTC in the past.
What is CTC?
CTC is Consolidated Telephone Company. They're out of Brainerd Baxter. They're a originally a telephone cooperative. Now they do internet service as well. I think they even are getting into television media, but they've been serving the Brainerd Baxter, a lot of other rural areas, much more rural areas than us. That we do have them here. I mean, they do serve the business communities. City Hall actually has the police station because they built fiber networks now to carry those internet signals with. So we do have a partnership with them that they built out part of our business community and industrial complex. But I have personally a lot of experience with this because in my previous community we're talking about a lot of the same thing. We're in the same kind of impact of right outside of the city. You have this great internet service and potentially new video, TV services available through a fiber connection. But in the city limits, they couldn't come in because they were either grant supported to build out those networks or just can't get the conversion rate that they need to serve these customers. And it's so I've have and been having and will continue to have a lot of conversations about what are the next steps that we can take to encourage them to come here. Not without it's not paying for the system to be built. They need to be competitive in the marketplace. We're not
It sounds like a lot
just
of-
for them, but.
Sounds like a lot of people have been having problems with their charter internet, not being able to get a good signal.
Yeah,
Is there
would-
something that we can do?
If you've had issues like that and it's been technical and they've contacted Charter and are struggling to get better quality out of that, you can forward them to me. I will forward them on to there's a government operational representative that I have a contact with. So I will contact that person. Really, outside of that, that's as far as we can really go. It's a struggle. We've been talking about this for years.
Well, it's the cost of installing somebody coming into town and having to run new cable up and down every street.
It's
Well,
service
do they
that
cover that cost?
they've had a lot of the network is built and
$1,000,000 it costs to
we're-
install it.
we're a small, and I think industry-wide, you see they're a big corporation nationwide. They're actually after their merger with Time Warner and Bright House, they're one of the largest cable providers in the country. I think they're in the top 5. So we're a very small community, and they don't have a lot of motivation to want to invest because they don't have a lot of competition. It's partly the pitfall that we have.
Any other constituent complaints? Anybody have? Hearing none, we'll adjourn to 7:30 of the regular meeting.
Are the public hearings canceled for tonight? John, I thought I heard you say that the resolutions wouldn't be happening tonight because not everybody's here?
Resolutions will be tabled, the
Oh.
public hearings will still take place.
Oh, okay.
Meeting over, so, other public work.